Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial we're going to have a continuation of making the Mother's blanket or Mother's Day blanket, however you want to call it. If you've been following along, that's because you want to learn how to make the blanket that I was making. Now, for the blanket itself, we used the moss stitch, which we went over in a previous tutorial. And today's tutorial, we're going to be talking about the border. And in this beautiful border, we have what's called the Alpine Stitch. Now you can use any border that you like. You can use a double stitch border, you can use a single crochet border, and there's tons of different borders. It just depends on what you would like to use. But for the sake of this blanket, if you want to follow me, I did use the Alpine Stitch border. So today we're going to have a tutorial on how you can attach a border, beautiful border, to your blanket. The supplies you're going to be needing today are, of course, your blanket, which I have prepared a little sample blanket for you. You're going to need a pair of scissors, a darning needle, a crochet hook, and any color of border that you would like to have. In this situation, I'm going to just use blue to demonstrate. So in the previous video, we talked about how to make your blanket, which will be your canvas. But what we didn't talk about last week, or in the previous video, was what are we going to do with these ends? We don't want to just leave them hanging, because if you're a beginner and you just cut this off at this particular point, if you cut your tail off here, what's going to happen is you're just going to have a short little piece of yarn, and we don't want that. We don't want it sticking out. We want to somehow conceal it so that it's tucked in nice and tight and it doesn't show through our blanket. So what you want to do, grab your darning needle and we're going to weave it. We're going to weave in this tail. So just start to slowly weave your tail in. Now, if you're new to crocheting, this is going to seem a little weird. If you're an advanced crocheter, you know what to do. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to pretend that you're a beginner. So all you're going to do is then weave it back the other way. Turn your work, weave it back the other way, pull through, and for good measure, you can pull it through again. We don't want these little tails hanging, okay? So just pull it through. From this point, you can cut it very close. Oh, one thing I want to add is before you start to crochet, get yourself a little trash can or a little bin, put it next to you, so that way you can just throw your threads away. So you see, we still have one more tail here from when we finished the blanket. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to weave in this end because we don't want to cut it too short and then have it eventually but as you can see here, that last stitch came out, so we're going to pull out that last stitch that you had in your blanket. Now we're going to take our darning needle and we're going to weave this one just like we did the other one so that there aren't any loose ends. Just weave it through a few stitches. Turn your work, weave it back, and one more time a few stitches just for good measure. Now it's nice and taut. Now you can cut it close. Okay? Now our blanket is ready to begin our border. So what you want to do is take any color that you would like. For this sample, we're going to be using just a regular blue. The first thing you want to do on your blanket though is we want to create a very nice clean edge. So what we need to do is stitch a single crochet around the entire blanket. That's going to give you a first row nice foundation. So what you want to do to start is just make a slip knot however you like. Now what we're going to do is take that hoop and put it behind, insert your hook into the blanket, grab the different color with your slip knot, and what we're going to do is grab your hook and you're going to go yarn under, pull through that front loop. Okay? So now we're going to single crochet all the way around our blanket. So here we have this stitch that we started with, and then the next stitch here we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have one single crochet. So basically we are going to just form a border all the way around our blanket. Okay? The next stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2 of them, and now you have another stitch. because we're at a corner, I'm going to chain one and then turn our work. Now you can keep going. Just remember, at the corners of your blanket, you want to chain one before you turn that corner. Okay, so now that you're at your last stitch of your single crochet, and now we've made a foundation chain around the blanket. You've ended up with one. Now if you're not going to change the color and you're going to continue working the same color on your Alpine border stitch, you don't need to change the color, you don't need to cut it. But if you want to change the color, let me show you what you would do. We're at the last stitch, so just pull it and then grab your scissors, cut your yarn, pull it through. Now you're going to grab your darning needle and you're going to weave in that last stitch. Again, we don't want anything coming out later that will make the blanket unravel. We don't want it to unravel. So basically, you're just going to weave it just like we did the other ones. Weave in your tails ever so slightly. Weave it back through. Now your tail is secure, and we have one more tail that we need to weave in. Okay, so now we're ready to begin our Alpine Stitch border on our beautiful blanket. For this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and change color. That way you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So we're basically going to start just like we did our single stitch border. Make yourself a slip knot. Grab your hook. Now we're going to, you can start anywhere. Start in the middle is what I like to do. Insert through the hook. Now, if you are a beginner, do you see how I'm holding the thread? This is just how I feel comfortable. So you're going to yarn over, you're going to pull through that hook, that stitch, through the front. Okay? I think the first stitch is always kind of daunting, but you'll get through it. Now for the Alpine stitch, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. Okay? Now in the next stitch, we are going to do a double crochet. So that is yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, where you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a double crochet. Okay? Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 left, pull through. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. This is a double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, now we've got the corner. The corners are going to be a little bit different, not too difficult, but they're going to be different. And so you have to think about why. Because when we turn the corner, it's going to have to do a nice turn. And if we don't insert a couple of extra stitches at the corners, we're not going to get that fine turn. So what we have to do when we get to a corner is in this last stitch, we're going to do a double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2 stitches, pull through. At this point, we want to chain 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to put another double crochet straight into this stitch that we just stitched into. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, can you see that? See what we've done? Now we can easily have a turn on our corner. And then we're going to continue down this row just like we did, and And when we get to the corner, we're going to do the same thing we did over here. So go ahead and finish your stitches all the way around, and don't forget to do 2 single crochets, double crochet in the same stitch, chain 2, double crochet, and then continue. And then I will meet you back at the end. Okay, now that you've gone the whole way around your blanket, let me show you what we're going to do here at the end. I've done my last double crochet here. Okay, we have one more stitch. So in this stitch, we're going to do one more double crochet. Now remember the stitch that we started? Here you're going to grab your hook and insert it in that top stitch, pull through, make a slip stitch, and pull it through. Now I'm doing this because I'm going to change color. If you weren't going to change color, you would just continue from this point, and you would chain 2 and start another row of the double crochet, but we're going to get to that in just a moment. I am going to change color, and then we're going to continue the process. But because I am going to change color, I'm going to pull through, and I'm going to weave in this tail. Okay, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to change the color so it'll be easier to see what I'm doing. Okay, now we're done with, we had our single crochet, we had a row of double crochet, and then we had another row of back post double crochet. And because I want my border to be a little bit larger, I'm going to make one more row, and I'm going to change color again just to show you what it would look like. So if you can see here, we have one double crochet post in the front, small double crochet in the back, alternating with a double crochet post in the front. So we are going to alternate just like we did on row 2. Okay? So we're going to go underneath this shorter post, not the larger post, but the shorter post. And that is going to make the beautiful Alpine Stitch look in alternating rows. Okay? Now here you want to make sure that you just wiggle, 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 because what you want to do is make sure that that double crochet is going to have enough tension to be higher than the regular double crochet. I hope that makes sense. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've got the long post here, small post here. So basically now we're alternating, and we're going to go behind all the small posts. Grab your yarn, pull through, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay. If you don't give it enough tension, your border will roll. You see how because we're extending the rows, you're going to have more double crochets added to each row and each corner. So we're going to add another double crochet here in this stitch. Now we're going to go into this space, chain 2 for your corner, double crochet inside the space, double crochet in this space, double crochet again, now we're going to go into the short post. Pull up your thread, so go ahead, finish up all your stitches, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so now we're at the end of our blanket. Let me show that to you again. You're at your last stitch here. And this is where we had the 2 chains to start. So I'm going to go back into this short post. Pull through 2, pull through 2. So we're going to slip stitch in the top of this chain. Pull through again. So this is a slip stitch. So now you've completed your 3 rows of the Alpine Stitch. Now again, you can make it as, you can keep going, you can change colors, you can be as creative as you would like. Now you know how to use the stitch. It's such a beautiful stitch. I just love it as a border. You can also make it to where you are using that same stitch for an entire blanket. The possibilities are endless. So just make sure that you securely weave in your ends. So now you have your blank canvas, which is where we design just on a much smaller scale, and you have your beautiful Alpine Stitch border.